Hi there. Welcome back to my channel, Healing with Kearra. Today we're taking a look into the upcoming supermoon. It's the harvest moon. That's just kind of came up in some of my readings or like the shorter little videos I've done and some of my personal readings, the harvest energy specifically. In particular, the last short on my channel, I'm not sure if you can link shorts in the description, but I'll try to figure it out. But anyways, I just wanted to um, bring it up. I guess I had posted it last night super late, before I went to sleep, and I don't know why, like just being really tired, in that moment when I was posting, I confused the upcoming full moon with October's, and I had wrote on the screen in the beginning of the video that it was a super moon eclipse, because our next full moon is an eclipse. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just got confused in that moment, or I don't know why I wrote that or was thinking that, and just like posted it and then forgot about it. And then luckily, right away, someone commented on YouTube and said that the eclipse isn't until October 14th. And then I was like, at first, I was like, no, there's the partial lunar eclipse as well. Um, and then I was like, wait, no. Um, and then, yeah, I like realized what I had done. So I deleted my comment and then I made the video private. And I was like, okay, um, should I remake it? And yeah, I just decided to keep it up. So maybe there was a reason why, like, what I had wrote on there was the upcoming harvest supermoon eclipse could be an auspicious time for you. And so, for some people, maybe it's not going to like fully come together or like fully come to the surface, or it'll actually start to manifest more during the time of the eclipse. So maybe there was like some reason why I was mixing those together, mixing those up. Um, so it may resonate for some people, but yeah, I just decided to keep it up how I had it because I felt like it was a good message and a good video. So yeah, but then once I made it public again, that all the comments were deleted, so I wasn't able to then tag the person who commented and like corrected me and say thank you. So yeah, kind of weird, but now it's just like there and it looks incorrect, and yeah, I just decided to leave it though. And that's, I don't know why I felt like talking about that, but I'll try to link that short in the description because I felt like it was kind of a good little short message in there that may resonate with some people if you get something out of this reading. So yeah, I'm really sorry for um, such a long intro there. I usually just get like right into it. So I do like a little meditation before to pick up on the energy and stuff. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to explain that because it's just like um, incorrect or confusing um, on that last video that I posted. But Yeah. In this video, we're taking a look into the upcoming supermoon on the 29th, 28th, and 29th of September, and it's the harvest moon. So that's why, yeah, in that video it came up is there was an energy of like being able to kind of like finally harvest something, or yeah, something finally coming full circle. So we're right in the midst of all of that, but also being like the last full moon before the eclipse season. There's just a lot of pressure bubbling up to the surface, and then we're about to move into a lot of change. Um, I feel like it's been a really like heavy or emotionally kind of thick summer. Just a very chaotic year in general. So I feel like as we step into the upcoming eclipse cycle is going to bring a lot of that stuff to the surface, bring a lot of that stuff full circle. So yeah, this upcoming um, harvest moon that we have on the 29th could really be like a foreshadowing to all of that, if you will. So yeah, we're just going to look into the upcoming energy. What are you harvesting? What seeds have you been planting throughout the year, and what is starting to um, yeah, come to the surface and be ready for some consumption, or the next phase, if you will. So we have pile one. Both of these decks here, it's the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and pile one is the Luna edition, and then the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and then we'll use the Dreamscape Oracle cards for both piles to get some messages. So hopefully you've had enough time to pick a pile. Alrighty, so too many. So we had the Wheel of Fortune pop out right away. So there's already like this energy of things kind of shifting. It's like a lot of things may have been waiting in the dark, or like laying wait in the dark, and now, yeah, just like I was saying in the intro, it's like things being brought to the surface, things being brought to light, being kind of seen. I'm seeing the word Matt right here, which I know is the author of this deck, but is making me think of karma. So I have another deck where uh, the mat represents justice, I believe, or karma. Um, yeah, I'm getting this energy of it's like a natural cycle. That's kind of what karma is. It's like the natural cause and effect of things cycling out due to certain choices and actions. It's like the natural process over time. So there's this energy of like, even if you feel like you don't see it coming, if you take a deeper look, you can see like the long term pattern over time that it was always going to shift in this direction, or with the way this person's like actually holding it, it's this energy of like the shifting of the power, or the control in the situation, or who has power and control in the situation. It's like things were always going to shift back into your hands, or power was going to always going to shift back into your hands, because even though you couldn't see the truth of like someone's actions around you, it's like spirit could see like this person's true intentions, or like their long-term pattern over time. And so ultimately, spirit was always intending to like wake you up in order to shift the power control of the situation back into your possession, which really just means you waking up and like grabbing control of the situation, um, making the choice to make a change, which then sets off like a catalyst of events to where it's like kind of no coming back from that change. We have the King of Wands and the Two of Pentacles on the bottom, and Strength. So this could be you here. It's like it's taken you a long time to build up the courage to make a certain choice. Like I was saying, to like kind of make the decision to take back your power, take back control of the situation, stand your ground, be really firm in some way. It's like you've come very far. So we have the Page of Wands here as well. So at one point, you had to be like really patient, do your time. You had to like learn a lot, make a lot of really hard choices and decisions. Or you were faced with a lot of like difficult choices and decisions that you didn't know exactly how to navigate or overcome at one time. So you had to be really patient and kind of like grow and learn, or it's like wait for things to mature and develop, or wait for you to mature and develop in some way. So up until this point, it could have been really difficult to make a certain decision, or to kind of like stand on your decisions, and that was something that was stopping things from truly shifting, for like the tables to really turn, for the karma to truly get like set in motion. It's like you had to be like in a position to where you were grounded, or like ready for that, like ready for the responsibility that came with then control being put back into your possession, you having direct control and influence over not only yourself but the environment around you. You had to be like to a place where you had the humility to like stand on your values or to embody like a certain structure, a certain energy. You had to just be capable of like taking on that responsibility. So before, if you were in more of like a wishy-washy energy, you were still kind of like learning and growing and figuring out how to get grounded or how to set like really healthy boundaries. But then in doing this, it was like instrumental in you maturing or like leveling up, being able to gain some sort of like status for yourself or even just like some level of confidence in order to then handle the weight of the responsibility that comes with you having more control over like your environment and like the narrative I'm hearing. So we have the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, like we've been picking up on here, and then the Hanged Man and the King of Swords. So the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Wands are definitely representing the energy that you were in the past. Like you could have been going through something that was really heavy or burdensome, something that was very difficult. You had a lot of weight or responsibility on your shoulders in one sense. You had to be like really mature and grown and like handle a lot of stuff in one sense. And so then it um almost emotionally stunted you in other ways, and so then it took you longer to like emotionally mature. Maybe it was you were maybe more like led by your passions or your desires or more easily swayed in certain directions. It was harder to like ground yourself in certain other ways, or you could have maybe gotten like kind of heated or just this very passionate energy to where it was kind of hard to rein that in or clearly direct that. You were kind of learning how to do that. It may have taken you a little bit longer to learn that part of things because you had to spend so much time like working or so much time focusing on like how much you had to do or like whatever you were going through is a very like burdensome, heavy, difficult situation where you had to kind of like overcome a lot or like get through a lot, and so you had to like almost put your head down and like put one foot in front of the other and just like carry the weight. And so yeah, I'm picking up on this energy where there wasn't a lot of time to like maybe explore yourself emotionally or like explore others emotionally or have certain experiences, and so then you ended up doing certain things maybe later, and then as a result of that other people around you were able to kind of like capitalize on that or use that against you to in order to like make you feel like you weren't able to be responsible for yourself or you weren't able to be in control of yourself, even though you really were like handling so much and doing so much and working so hard. It's like in other ways your actions weren't able to reflect that because again it's like you didn't have the time or maybe you didn't have like the leadership or the guidance around you and to teach you those things. And then that's another reason why you had so many burdens or so much you had to overcome and get through and kind of figure out all on your own. So people weren't able to like see that. They were just able to see like the passion coming out of you or just like how bold you were like, your energy came across in such a way that other people felt as though they needed to like rein you in or like hold you back, or like they just didn't like trust you to fully be able to like navigate for yourself or something, or they made you believe that you weren't able to fully navigate for yourself, or you weren't able to fully make like confident choices on your own. um, So now the tables are turning because you've came to a place where you've like grown and matured a lot more. You've matured from this Knight of Wands to the King of Wands. So you've really stepped it up here, and you're able to fall back on that confidence of knowing like how hard you've worked, how much work you put in, how far you've come, how much you had to overcome to get to this point. You know, like how much you've grown as a person. And so you rely and trust on your ability to make healthy, confident choices and decisions for yourself. And that is one way that you are kind of taking your power back, and things are shifting towards like your environment around you is shifting back into your own control. You're no longer giving your power away to others. Um, with the Hangman and the King of Swords, like, you're not going to, this hanged man is literally untying themselves. Usually the hangman represents kind of being like complicit, or just like surrendering to your circumstances, just having this energy of like, well, this is how it is, there's not anything I can do about it, or like, this is my bed, I just have to lie in it. This person is like freeing themselves, taking the initiative upon themselves or within themselves to like make a change. They're making the choice to free themselves, to remove themselves from something. And so, with the King of Swords, it's like the actual physical way that you are um, kind of energetically untying yourself or freeing yourself. The way that you're doing that in the 3D could be through setting really healthy boundaries, having really firm communication with certain people around you. But it's like communicating with others in a way that displays your growth or your strength or your inability to be like swayed emotionally, that you are coming from a very clear place. You can make very clear, confident choices and decisions for yourself and then stand on them. um, you're able to think things through like deeply, and make the best overall choice and decision for yourself. It's like you are responsible to, or responsible enough to handle like all of the responsibility that um, comes with like being you in your life, whatever it, the you like unique circumstances that come with whatever is like going on with you in your life personally. So let's get a Dreamscape Oracle. So we have the Knight at the bottom of the deck. Your Oracle card is Koi Fish. So I'm going to read both of those for you. Okay, sorry, these are not labeled, so it's kind of hard to find them. The night transports deep, dark, dreamy scenes within him. He moves slowly and effortlessly through the streets. His incense spills from the censer, coloring the air with its perfume. The smoke hangs thick in the air, blanketing the world in darkness. The night wears the stars at his waist. Each speck twinkles with his movement, blinking in and out with each step. He wears a head wrap filled with the colors of the sky. The cover appears white at the top and then darkens into the daytime glow cast by the sun. He walks everywhere, bringing dreams and nightmares to everyone who as the day falls away to meet the shadows. The meaning is don't be afraid of the dark and greet the shadows. So this makes a lot of sense because with this card, I was really getting a lot from this darkness here. It's like a lot of this change, a lot of the stuff that's shifting is coming out of the unknown. We're just kind of having to follow your gut or follow your intuition. And it's a sense of with this like moving through the night card, I'm getting like there could be like certain people around you who that's, their intentions towards you or their energy towards you is kind of in the dark like that. They're not outward with um everything that's going on. And so in order to protect yourself moving forward or shift things or take control of your environment or your circumstances, bring power back into your own hands within your own self and your own life and there's whatever situation um, is around you here. You could just have to kind of you may not have a lot of the proof or information on paper, if you will, and there's an energy of just like having to follow your intuition or just be led by spirit or do whatever feels right for you, even if you don't have like the full proof or you don't fully understand why you feel called to protect yourself in certain ways or to move in certain ways. It's like trust that spirit is really guiding you and trying to help protect you from any potential like harm or anyone with like bad intentions. In Japanese myth, the koi fish swims upstream along the Yellow River. Once it conquers its many challenges and reaches the river's head, it transforms into a majestic dragon. The Japanese view the koi fish as a symbol of aspiration and good fortune, which is manifest through determination and hard work. You have the power to transform your life. You are ready to transform. Good prosperity and wealth are on their way. So, yeah, you are ready to transform. At first, I saw that as you have the power to transform. Um, but that's what I'm getting from this is like you are a very powerful um, being. And just like, okay, with this koi fish transforming into a dragon, it's the Knight of Wands transforming into the King of Wands. So it's the same type of energy that I was picking up on of like how you've grown and matured and you're able to fall back on like your life experiences and having to overcome and go through a lot of things. It's like there may be this really dark period just before you transform into something totally different on a completely different level, completely unknown to where you were at before. It's like trust the process here and really trust yourself that you have come a long way. You have come very far in your journey from where you once were. 'Cause back here, we actually have the Page of Wands. So it's like at one point, you were all the way back here. And then as you had to keep growing and more burdens or more and more things were kind of weighing you down, holding you down, you more and more things were building that you had to work through over time. It's like in order to handle this and be able to move through it, you went into this space, but now you've been able to heal and grow and mature, and or you're about to step into this more grounded, stable, secure space, and you really deserve it. Like you've earned it, and you've come really, really far in comparison to where you were previously in different stages of your life, and only you know that, and only you know like how hard you've worked and how much you've put into it, and that's where that confidence is going to step in to be able to like communicate this to others, because it's like this is just such an authentic path that you've walked. This like no one can take that away from you, and that energy will just kind of naturally transfer and come through, just like in the way that you move and in the way that you operate. So this was like the perfect symbolism here. It's kind of like a symbolism of transformation, of moving from one space and into another, and maybe a very uncomfortable process, but it's very worth it in the end. And it's worth it to um, take your power back, to take that action, to work to like remove yourself from anything that's holding you back or blocking you, hindering you from being able to truly blossom and grow, transform into this next phase that you've worked so hard for. You've come so far to have this opportunity to move into like a new space, a new cycle, a new phase in life. Bridge the gap. Communication. Walking across a bridge is easier than treading through water. Viewing both sides of a situation can create compassion and clarity. You're being asked to reach common ground to see both points of view. So, with that, it's like also being able to see with both points of view. Remember that your point of view and where you're coming from matters just as much, right? It's like it helped to kind of cross that bridge to get from one space to another. Turn over a new leaf. Renew. A second chance is being given to transform yourself or the situation. Let the lessons of the past serve as a catalyst for a clean slate moving forward. So, another card talking about transformation. So, definitely that is the theme. So let's get some zodiac signs could be relevant for you in the upcoming future. So we have the King of Water, water and fire. We have a lot of fire showing up here. So like you could be a fire sign, and then you could connect with a water sign in the future. So like as you're able to let go or remove yourself from certain environments, you step into other environments where you meet people who are more emotionally aligned with you, or so you're very, very passionate. So you need someone who's sensitive to that in order to maybe be a little bit more compatible or more empathetic and understanding as to where you're coming from in the way that you feel as well. Yeah. Ace of Water, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So reaching out to a water sign, or a water sign could reach out to you. You could be a fire sign. It doesn't have to be, but if you embody a lot of that fire, passionate type of energy, it's like you don't want to connect with people who are going to weaponize that against you or use that against you. You want to connect with people who were try to understand where you're coming from, people who are more empathetic. It's where they can feel like what you're going through rather than wanting to use it against you, like people who care about you in the way that, like, using your pain against you to harm you would them harm themselves. Like, you being hurt would hurt them, so they want to be more understanding and get to a place of being able to connect through emotion rather than weaponizing it against you in a harmful way, so you won't have to feel so like guarded, or you don't have to feel like you have to kind of like protect yourself or block yourself off emotionally. I'm really getting this, like, you could have a lot of fire, and so being with someone who has a lot of water is what helps to kind of like balance you out, or like almost kind of tame, like help to put the flames out whenever it's becoming too much, or it's like just what you need, in order to feel like safe and connected. It's like having the confidence to like step outside of your comfort zone to connect with someone on an emotional level could be very rewarding as well. It could feel really foreign and different and um, kind of scary to feels like you're like, in order to step outside of your comfort zone, you almost have to like dive into something really unknown. Getting super, super deep could have been kind of scary at one time, or it seemed almost out of touch because you couldn't get to that level with the people that are around you, or the relationships that are around you, or the previous relationships and connections that you've had. You just couldn't access them emotionally, connect with them in that way, get to that level. So you started to like almost settle or believe that you couldn't um, get to that point in a relationship. And so it's like needing to step outside your comfort zone and be willing to accept something, or make some sort of offer, or like be willing to put yourself out there in some way to connect with someone, even though it feels scary to be vulnerable. Decisions in fear. Control. Some decisions and choices that you have made are based in fear and not heart-centered knowledge. Fear is your ego wanting control. Take a step back and make a responsive choice rather than a reactive one. Then you're able to see the truth of the best choice with a calm and centered manner. So this again, like this kind of cloak, veiled, at one time it's like, don't beat yourself up for things that have happened in the past, because you were making the best choices and decisions that you could based off the information that you had. But now you've grown and matured a lot more, and you have a lot more spiritual tools, and so you can fall on your intuition to make certain choices and decisions whenever you don't have the full picture, whereas in the past you just kind of had to make certain choices and decisions without really knowing certain things, and so it went the way that it did, and there's nothing that you can do, and you can't go back and change things in the past. But now that you have, again, more tools, then you can fall back on that, and that will help you to make better, more informed choices, or be more confident about the choices that you're making, even if you can't see everything, or the people around you aren't being fully upfront, clear, and transparent with their intentions or their energy towards you. It's like being able to make more clear, direct, healthy moves, be more led by spirit, be willing to be bold and take those risks to put yourself in the position to be in alignment with the things that spirit would have for you, rather than the people that have more devious ulterior intentions for you. So it's like don't be scared to like free yourself. Don't feel like you are just stuck in certain situations. There's nothing that you can do to change it or remove yourself now because it's choices that you made, because that was in the past. And again, it's like you were doing the best that you could with the information that you had, and you had so much to overcome or work through or like get through within yourself. That's like you had to do what you had to do, or you had to do the best that you could, or just put one foot in front of the other, even if you didn't have it all figured out or you weren't like fully like correct about everything. It's like you had to just get from one place to a better place. And now that you are in a better place, you have so many more tools and you can do things so differently. And like I said, you can't do anything to change the past, and you can just kind of honor that in yourself and what happened, and understand like the burdens that you were dealing, like everything that you were dealing with at that time. It was so heavy and so big, and you really just did the best that you could um, at one time. So forgive yourself and don't be scared to free yourself, and know that spirit sees you and your intentions and is working with you to help kind of wake you up and guide you and nudge you into this transformation so you can move from one space into the next, or really evolve into what you're meant to like be. And we have family dynamics. Reconcile. Your family is requiring a time to heal issues that have created a wedge or unrest. We all need support as we move forward, and having an open and loving family unit is essential. So as you move forward here, and you do kind of free yourself, or you do have the confidence to show up and communicate with others in a healthy way to kind of show them where you're at now, it could start to heal things, or certain people that were very unexpected, you like kind of never thought will suddenly like come around. um as people see you like operating in your power, and see that like you're just fine, it's like it could cause others to kind of like wake up here and grow themselves. So it's like it may not go in the way that you fear if you have the confidence to like take control of things, or again just uh yeah, like take things back into your own hands, or set off some sort of course of change. uh a second chance is being given to transform yourself or the situation. Let lessons of the past serve as a catalyst for a clean slate moving forward. So it's like these other people may see, as a result through this whole process, is like the other people involved may see what they need to see in order to grow or transform something within themselves to get to a place where they can see you in the way that they need to. Or it's like it's more than just you involved in the situation, that is like learning a lot of lessons, and that is getting something out of this that they can grow from and help them to like transform into a better person. So yeah, it may be like the most unexpected people or relationships in your life that you get this sort of clean slate type of feeling or energy or vibe. Or that there's a sense of like renewed energy when you have the confidence to step outside your comfort zone and put yourself out there to emotionally connect with others that you've been very distant from for a long time. Or um, yeah, there's something about that too, where it's like certain things are ending, but then other things are, it's like opening up for other things that have ended in the distant past to then come back around, and like justice or balance, clarity to be brought to the situation, certain things to be restored. So certain things have to end for certain other things to be restored. So however that resonates for you, like certain things that you have to like let go of or be willing to remove yourself from in order to step into who you need to become, in order to then heal certain other things that you maybe never thought would come back around. But now you're in a completely different position, or you're in a completely different energy within yourself, and so you're like ready for the responsibility that comes with these other certain things, other certain connections, other things that you never thought would ever come back around. It's like you needed to be in this more emotionally mature space to be able to handle this. And so, like I said, it's like very unexpectedly as a result of all of this, you could find yourself like reconnecting with people you never thought you would, or just certain things coming back around that you never expected, never thought you would ever connect with again or see again. Yeah. Let's get one card for that. Like who could be this person? Who could be this person? So we have the Empress and the Lovers. So it's like someone that you cared very, very deeply about at one time, but it's like you or the other person were not able to make the choices and decisions that you needed to in order to be able to come together in a healthy way. And now, through this situation, we have Venus energy. So it's like we're in the post shadow period of the Venus retrograde. So on October 7th, I believe, we're coming out of that. And so yeah, in the post shadow period, we're like in the same space in the sky that Venus just went retrograde through. So it's like coming back through and coming full circle on a lot of the lessons that we've learned throughout the summer. So it's like rising out of this energy more aligned, more confident, embodying more love, more connection, having more clarity, and being able to finally make the choices and decisions needed to come together in a really healthy way. With this lightning, I'm just getting this energy of it's like, yeah, there could be like someone specific coming back around as a result of like you having the courage to end certain other things or remove yourself from certain other things. It's like with this egg here, there was like a potential for growth in the past, but it took both of you making the choices to be able to come together, and then one party very unexpectedly did not, and it was like super hurtful. So this could be the other person. It's like the other person very unexpectedly didn't follow through, and it's like you never thought this would ever come back around, but now that you've grown, or you've overcame, you're in a completely different place in your life now. It opens up a space for then this person to return and be able to reflect you in making the choices necessary to be able to come together in a healthy way, like once and for all. It's like you're both being divinely led back together. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I have for messages for pile one. If you watched this far, I really, really appreciate it. If you would like more personal reading, you can use the link in my description box. But that's all I have for you. So thank you. So pile 2, the Ethereal Visions Tarot. So taking a look into the Harvest Supermoon. We have the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So, ooh, and then the Knight of Swords. And the way that this sword is like split right down the middle. Very interesting. So right away with the King of Cups, I didn't get a lot. And then as soon as I see the King of Pentacles, I was like, ooh, so you may have a choice between two people. And you're split right down the middle. It's like you don't know which direction to go in or which choice to make. So you have options here. You have like two really grounded, stable, committed, good options, and you're split right down the middle. You have no clue what's going to be best for you. At one point you were just kind of like free falling, on your own, navigating, living your best life, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you were faced with this like insanely difficult choice between two things that would both be like really great for you, or it appears as though as that, on the surface. And so you're just split right down the middle. Like you don't know what to do, what choice to make, what would be best for you. You don't know which direction to go in. You feel torn, you feel pulled, you feel like you're being like called or pulled in one direction, but maybe you would want to go in another. Anytime you look in one direction, you start to look in the other and be like, maybe I should go over there. It's like really difficult for you to know what's best, or to make a clear, well-informed decision as far as like what's best, which choice should I make, which direction should I go in. It's like on one hand, this person here, the more like water sign, or embodying more of like the water, you may have like more of an emotional, someone more of like an emotional person, in the sense that they're not uncomfortable with like their feminine side, or just connecting in like a more feminine or emotional way. They can embody a lot of those qualities really well. Even if they're like more of a masculine person, they're very comfortable embodying like their feminine aspects as well, and that's very attractive, so they seem like the top choice. But then there's something about this other person that's very grounded and stable and secure that makes you think twice, or like do a double take, or kind of spin back around to think like, well, maybe that would be a more secure option, or this person would be very defensive or protective over you. You feel as though this other person here, that it could be more of like an earth energy. It's like it's a more stable, grounded, like they would take care of you, they would protect you, they would provide for you. you see this person's very honorable, a very beautiful person too. Like even though they're maybe not as like soft, or they don't embody as much like is be as feminine, whether it's like a guy or a girl or whatever, uh, however they, choose to present themselves. It's like um, they may not be the most feminine. So even if it is like a woman or a girl, then it's like um, they're not like the most feminine female in the world, but it's like you don't even care about that, because they have this very like grounded, stable, secure, like this nurturing energy where they take care of you and provide for you in this very nurturing way. So it doesn't matter that they're not like the most like soft, like emotional person, if you will. um so it's kind of conflicting. They both seem like really good options, right? um so I just heard that like G-Eazy Gemini song, and he's like split right down the middle, like there's two of me. So it's like sometimes you could literally feel like you're being split down the middle, or like you wish that there were two of you and you could be in two places at once, or you feel like it sucks that you have to make such hard, difficult, impossible decisions in regards to this. um yeah, that song's not called Gemini, but that's what he's like rapping about, being a Gemini. I don't remember what it's called, but anyways. Okay, so this whole time I was saying King of Pentacles, I think, and this is just the Knight of Pentacles. So I just saw the King of Pentacles here. I'm almost positive this whole reading I was saying the King of Pentacles for this card, and it's definitely the Knight of Pentacles. I just didn't look closely enough at the words on there. I just saw this picture and then instantly started getting the story in my head. So um the thing that is makes you hesitant about the second person, it's like once you dig deeper or look closer at the situation, you see that they're not quite as set up and established as the other person. So it almost seems like more of a risk, and so that's why it could be so hard to make a choice. um, this person is like, their energy is so big that it's hard to you almost get kind of mesmerized or like caught up in like their energy and the way they present themselves, that it's hard to like see the finer print, or like when you take a closer look at this person, then you see a little bit more. They still have a little bit more to grow, or it's like it may take a while before they're actually to that point where they can provide you all of that in real time, or you can have everything that you would have with this person in real time. So it's kind of hard to like make that choice or that decision. um so we have the Six of Cups, so we have the King of Pentacles and the Six of Cups and the Ten of Swords. This individual looks really young, like these kids, looks like around the same age as these kids, which I find interesting. And then we have the Emperor. And this person's very like um kind of coming across very cold, almost like judgmental or like held back, or like they're trying to protect themselves by like examining you. Um, so you may have had like a relationship or a connection when you were younger, or someone that you were very close with when you were younger, and it went south or went badly, or it ended really poorly when you were younger and you were left feeling really heartbroken and betrayed. um you could have had like a friend or someone that you grew up with when you were younger that you lost, or that like passed away, or that something bad happened to where the connection ended like in a really painful and hurtful way, and there was like no coming back from it, and it happened whenever you were very very young, and so it kind of like traumatized you or like emotionally stunted you to feel as though like now you feel like you have to like protect yourself emotionally. um it's like you want to move forward and choose this person here because they seem like the obvious choice. But then you see this person and you get very like caught up or kind of like distracted by their energy, their light, the way they carry themselves. And it almost makes you do a double take and think like, oh, wait, maybe I should go in this direction. But then once you look deeper at the situation, you see that that person's not fully ready and established and set up to kind of like take that on or to be right where you need them to be. And I'm picking up on this energy where it's like that's almost divinely meant to be in order to protect you from that situation, because the reason that you're drawn to that type of energy or that type of like stability in a partner or having someone to take care of you in that way is because it's speaking to some sort of childhood wound here, or something from your childhood where you felt abandoned, or like you felt like you lost someone that you really cared about in a very hurtful way, or some sort of like meaningful connection or relationship that you had with another like in the child around you that was taken from you, or that you were really hurt by in some way. um, and so now it's like puts you in this certain energy where like you give off maybe this kind of like cold and protective energy, but you're not intending to be cold. You're just intending to not let yourself become super vulnerable because you don't want to experience that same level of degree of hurt that you went through in your past or when you were younger in some way. And so, because of that, you're subconsciously then drawn to or manifesting partners who then match that level of like being a little bit more cold and distant and detached, because those are the people that you feel emotionally safe with or emotionally comfortable with because they're not getting too close for comfort. You could have been just like kind of stubborn, or you manifest a lot of people around you who are very stubborn, and this is why. It's like speaking to this like inner wound here. So it's like you want to choose someone who's more like emotionally open, safe, comfortable expressing their emotions and sharing their emotions, someone who's more emotionally mature and grounded, so they're able to like help you, helps you feel seen and heard and to like grow through things. um, but then you'll do like a double take and think like, oh, maybe I should actually be with someone like this because they'll like take care of me, like this seems like the more secure option like on paper. But then you look deeper, you look closer, and you realize they're not actually where they need to be right now in this moment. So it's like you almost have to wait or be like patient for this. And again, that speaks to um, it's like a defense mechanism to not experience the same level or degree of hurt by like choosing something that you don't have to like be vulnerable to until they're like in a place where they're ready to give you what you deserve. And so it's almost like puts it on ice, or like puts it in this puts creates a healthy distance in the situation where you don't have to get too close too quickly, and you can kind of use the excuse that like they need to grow and mature, like get to a certain place in their life. So that kind of feels like the safe or comfortable option because of some sort of trauma or pain or something that happened here very unexpectedly, very hurtful. It felt like a betrayal, a backstabbing, or like you were abandoned, you were left behind. It was like there was no coming back from this, and it kind of permanently warped your perception of how you need to connect with others in order to like feel safe emotionally. So it's almost like kind of difficult or scary, even if it's not conscious. It's like the closer you get towards this King of Cups person, the more these inner wounds are triggered, and it makes you kind of like look to other things or other situations that are going to validate the sense of security and comfort that you feel from being a little bit more emotionally distant in a relationship while still knowing or feeling as though they're like taking care of you on some sort of level. So you could revert to like a more materialistic, like shallow, feeling more validated, knowing that they're giving you like gifts, or that they're like you're giving them space and distance so that they can like work in order to make a lot of money, or it's like using those types of justifications in order to feel more secure or to validate the dynamics, when in reality the real reason you feel comfortable like that is because you don't want to get too close to others emotionally. So then you kind of choose or attract relationships where yeah, you feel more safe, or there's that healthy distance, or you can be somewhat almost cold, and they're like receptive to that because they're also in that energy, or like a more authoritative, um, sometimes maybe even like a forceful, just like, yeah, more like authoritative type of energy. So that's what I'm picking up on. Like that's the reason why you're so split in the middle, and it's so difficult to make some sort of choice or to know which direction to go in. Um, so we're gonna get a Dreamscape Oracle. Ooh, so we have Death Mother and Sea Turtle. So I'm gonna read those for you. The delicate chains clatter and simmer against the cloak. The sound is faint, a dying grasp from the soul. The Death Mother caresses the golden glitter between her fingertips. She knows everything about the departed. She knows how death consumes their souls. The chains flow between the two of them, binding them over time. He gathers the newly deceased while she takes the measures of their worth. Eventually, she will assign them their final resting places. They work silently and steadily under cover of the moonlight skies, drawing spirits out and sending them onto the stages of their journey. The meaning behind this is you are feeling tied down to something that no longer serves you. Free yourself. So you could feel tied down to this sort of like emotional trauma or whatever sort of pain you went through when you were younger or in your childhood, and it's like spirit is giving you the permission to free yourself from the situation or release this from being a main focus in your narrative or the choices and decisions that you make moving forward. The sea turtle is a gentle creature with a long lifespan and can swim over vast distances. It can take decades to reach full maturity, granting them insight and wisdom only accumulated through time and experience. Sea turtles represent the journey and share their infinite patience as you walk the path and learn from the lessons given along the way. When the sea turtle comes into your life, it may be time to look at the bigger picture and determine your needs for the long haul. Are you ready for the future? Now is the time to start planning. Enjoy the journey of your life. Start planning for the future. So that's really good advice from Spirit. Turn over a new leaf. Renew. A second chance is being given to transform yourself or the situation. Let the lessons of the past serve as a catalyst for a clean slate moving forward. So yeah, you're being given a second chance to kind of let go of certain things that no longer serve you. Cornucopia, prosperity. The earth is plentiful and is reminding you to trust money will flow. Enjoy the fruits of your labor by releasing any fear mindset that blocks abundance. Your value in yourself is the best currency. That's really good advice. So I'm going to get a few zodiac signs that could be relevant near future. So we have the water at the bottom of the deck. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. That makes sense with this King of Cups. I just kind of knew water was going to come out. And Libra, Justice, which is an air sign. So you could be a Libra or an air sign. Or you could be a Taurus too. Or you could be like more attracted to Taurus. Like, I don't know why I'm just getting that. But it's like accepting this earth energy into your life or being willing to step outside of your comfort zone and be vulnerable. It's a huge like balancing out or creating a sense of justice for you just in your life in general. It's like balancing out after some sort of pain or something really difficult that you could have had to navigate at one time or when you were younger that kind of put you in this protective energy that then tipped the scales. And so through this process of being able to forgive yourself and be more open to others in different ways, it's like helping to kind of correct course and bring that sense of justice back into the situation. So it's spirit guidance, co-creation. Your spirit guides and guardians are here to assist and to help you evolve into your authentic self. The time is now to see yourself as your spiritual team sees you. They ask that you remove all limiting thoughts and open yourself to them. Meditation and asking for signs are a great way to deepen your connection. Good news, positivity. Your prayers have been heard. Good news is on the way. The universe wants you to have expectancy of positive outcomes in your life. You have the power to manifest what you desire of your highest good by co creating with Source. Now it's time to celebrate. So that's a really positive message to get. Get one oracle card out of this deck for you guys. We have Canyon, bottom, with rain and luck. So with Canyon, the advice is look at the big picture, take a chance, and find shelter. So look at the big picture and take a chance and find shelter in regards to everything that's happening around you. But we just got the good news, positive outcomes are on the way to you. And so kind of working with spirit to do your part and get yourself in alignment to be able to receive those blessings has helped speed up that process of like justice and karmic balance coming into the situation and into your life. Yeah, so that's all I have for pile 2. If you watch this far into the reading, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. If you would like a more personal reading, you can use the link in my description. But I hope you have a really great day. Thank you.